a team of tickets.
Maybe me and Lucy can go.
Yeah, and actually, we can just go right over the line through Alberta, over the bridge, into Lillian, stop at Greer's, and get our lottery tickets.
And go grocery shopping all at the same time. Well, it's Wednesday. You know, Wednesday is Lucy Greer Day here at Studio 10. What are we making today? It looks delicious.
Okay, today we are going to make a ravioli lasagna. And a lot of people, of course, love Italian food and are making lasagna. And we have been testing some new recipes for our delis, and we're playing around with this, and I don't know where I've been, I guess under a rock, but I have not heard of making lasagna with ravioli. Have you?
I haven't either, but look, it looks so easy.
It's so easy and genius. I mean, who doesn't love ravioli? And I was like, okay, we've got to just talk about this.
Well, it cuts like half of the work too. They're already stuffed with meat or cheese, so.
Exactly, and we're gonna use cheese today, but you can use whatever you want, and really, I've been making lasagna lately. They have the lasagna noodles now that are no boil.
Right.
You don't even have to cook them, which that was always the whole pain of lasagna anyway. So a lot of the work has been, cut out of lasagna because you don't have to cook the noodles. But now we can make it with ravioli and things really get interesting.
I'm telling you, it's like so easy now. I especially love this. Growing up, we always had lasagna night on Wednesdays. So it's lasagna day today.
Neat.
I love it. So it's super easy. Obviously, you can get all of these ingredients at Greer's.
Yes, absolutely. And so what I already did in this pot, I just took 1.5 pounds of, I'm using ground chuck. That's just what I like to use. And all of our meat in our stores, we still cut all our meat fresh, and we still grind all of our meat in-house. So it's freshly ground right there in the store. So it's super awesome quality. And just depending on if you use ground beef or chuck or sirloin, whatever, if there is some fat that comes out that you want to drain, you can just drain that off. So I just cooked this all the way through, and I drained a little bit of fat that was in there. And so now I'm going to use some frozen seasoning blend. Do you ever use this stuff?
I don't, but I don't use a lot of seasoning anyways, but it's frozen, so Joe's laughing at me. It's frozen, so it's like so much easier. You just thaw it out and cook it.
Exactly. And this is just a mixture of peppers and onions, a little bit of celery in there, and of course, I love using fresh vegetables, and we have awesome produce departments, but when you're trying to pull something together quick, it's just kind of nice. I like to keep this stuff in the freezer, and so that way if you're trying to put something together real quick, just don't have the time to chop up, you can just pull a little bit out. So that's 1 to 2 cups of that, and I'm just going to add about a teaspoon of salt here, and we're just going to let this go and let a little bit of that chill come off those veggies.
Now this is a quick meal. I'm telling you, all you have to do is really cook the meat,
cook that, and we're actually going to take a shortcut with some jarred sauce. And I talk about our store brands all the time, and when you're cooking, everybody wants the best quality you can get for the best price. And so that's what's so awesome about our store brands, which we have 2 store brands, Best Choice and Always Save. And these are just as good as national quality, national brands, and I just love them. We have in our Best Choice almost everything that you could get in a national brand. We have it in Best Choice now, and if you haven't tried it at our stores, I'd love for you to try it, because it's just it's so great. You can save a little bit of extra money and not have to sacrifice the quality, which is what we're all about at Greer's. We want to give everybody the best price without giving them anything that's not up to standard.
So it's a win-win.
Win-win.
So when we come back with Joe, what will you be doing next?
I'm going to keep working on our sauce, and then we're going to get this baby layered up.
Hey, I'm down for it. It's Lasagna Wednesdays, y'all. Joe, you down for it?
Baby talk is always exciting. We've been there a few times before in the past.
Yes, it is fun.
All right, so lots of good stuff to talk about, lots of good food to talk about today. I'm excited for this recipe, Lucy.
Yeah, and this would definitely be a good one for kids, talking babies and kids in general. And it's hard sometimes to it's hard every night to put supper on the table. We all know that. But it's also hard to come up with new things, and kids love ravioli, and a lot of them like spaghetti anyway. So we're working on a ravioli lasagna, and we already browned about 1.5 pounds of ground chuck, and then I added in about 1.5 cups of seasoning blend. which is like peppers and onions and celery. And then I'm going to add this little packet. It's by the salad dressings, and it's just dried Italian seasoning, kind of like a ranch packet.
Sure.
But it's Italian, so it's going to go good in our lasagna here. And it's kind of like, okay,
adding some flavor.
We maybe don't have time to measure out a bunch of different spices and whatnot, so we're just going to add that in for flavor. And then we're going to take a shortcut on our sauce. You could use whatever pasta sauce is your favorite, but I really love our Best Choice brand, which we were talking about earlier, and tomato basil. So I'm just going to add 2 of these.
I like the move to go with a tomato basil too. You know what I would do though?
What?
And this is just me, I would, in addition to that, add some garlic into this.
You totally could. And that's the good thing about, doing something like this. You could add some heat, with some crushed red pepper. You could actually make this meatless too. We're going to use cheese ravioli today, and you could just use marinara sauce and not even do the ground beef. So it's super versatile. I might get in trouble if I do that at my house though.
Yeah.
I don't have the meat.
Yeah, I would definitely want the meat in the in that. But anyone can do whatever they want. Like you said, it's very versatile, so you have options. And the other thing too, when people think of like making a home-baked lasagna, it kind of seems intimidating. There's a lot of steps to the process. It takes a long time. This is a great way to simplify the process.
Super simple. And we're going to also take the help with our, I'm going to use the frozen cheese ravioli today, but you could use the one out of the dairy department, or the refrigerated section. And then we're just going to layer it up in a little bit. I'm just going to let this simmer for a bit. And then we're also going to use some ricotta cheese and just some shredded Italian cheese blend. So it'll be really simple, and you can get it done the day before and then just either reheat it or pop it in the oven, while you get home from school and everybody's doing their homework and whatnot. So super easy.
Guess what? We had a breakthrough in the Emer household last night. So Mia will eat it. Mia has always eaten almost everything.
Yeah.
Eli, the worst eater.
Yeah.
We made a noodle dish last night, and he actually ate it.
Oh, good. What was it?
It was a chicken vodka Alfredo type thing with bow tie pasta. That's what got him.
Yeah.
Is he's like, ooh, cool. These are shaped like bow ties. So that was the trick.
I almost got bow tie. We were, I mentioned to Chelsea that we're kind of testing some new recipes for our delis, and we're working on a chicken Alfredo, and I almost grabbed the bow ties. And I was like, well, this is not really even for kids, but bow tie is my favorite shape.
Yeah,
and I'm an adult.
And again, that's farfalle, if you want to say the actual pronunciation. It's farfalle. So this is great for kids, great for adults, great for quick, easy dinner recipe. We're going to continue to work on it in a bit, and we'll come back with you in a little bit. Lucy?
Thank you.
Well, hey, welcome back in the kitchen with Lucy Greer. It's Wednesday, so it's Lucy Greer Day here on Studio 10. And for those just now tuning in, what are we making?
We are working on our ravioli lasagna.
Yeah.
So we have all the steps done, and we're ready to layer it up. So we made our sauce, our meat sauce with a little bit of seasoning blend, and we used jarred tomato basil pasta sauce, so it was super easy. Added a little bit of Italian dried dressing, and that's kind of like using a ranch packet, but it's the dried Italian one that just adds some good flavor to our dish without having to measure out all the different spices. And stuff.
So if you're just now tuning in, Lucy and I were talking about this recipe and this dish, how we have never thought of using ravioli as the pasta in the lasagna. Genius both ways, but of course you can get all these ingredients at Greer's. It's a fast meal, it's an easy meal, and it's a cheaper meal.
Absolutely. So it's definitely a win-win, all the way around. And I'm just using, right now I'm layering in our cheese ravioli, and I just got it out of the frozen food section, or you could use, whichever one you wanted. So I just did a layer of that. Yeah. And started with a little bit of sauce, like you saw. And then
my favorite part.
I know. So really it's kind of hard to like spread this out. So I just like dollop it around. Yeah. And then we're just going to layer it up, and so it's super easy. And I just cooked, used these frozen, just right out of the freezer, so you don't have to cook them, the ravioli, I mean. which is nice, you know, and we talked earlier about you really don't even have to cook lasagna noodles anymore. They just come now where it says no boil, and it's super easy. So that's gonna, you know, melt across.
How many, obviously it differs with every dish that you have, but how many layers do you recommend?
It will probably be about 3 layers. I have 2 bags of the noodles here, and this is a 9x13. It's kind of deep, but you can just layer it as many, you know, up as many layers as your dish will go.
Yeah.
And then at the top, you kind of want to end with the sauce, and we're going to then cover it and bake it at 350 for an hour, because it's going to take a little bit of time for those noodles to cook.
Of course.
And then we'll take the top off and we'll top it with the remainder of our cheese, and then just pop it in for another 10 minutes. So this would be a really good one just to do like the night before.
Right. And
then you can just pop it in the oven when you get home from work or school or whatever you're doing.
It's so easy and so good. I'm looking forward to trying this. But you know, Greer's is always busy too. So what's the latest going on with you guys?
So it is hard to believe that spring break is here.
And for some, it's already passed.
That is just, I mean, crazy.
Insane.
It is insane. So we have, I mentioned that our store down at Bailey's Corner on Fowl River Road on the way to Dauphin Island has a new Ace Hardware. So as people are going down to the island that maybe haven't been that way in a while, lots of people always stop at Greer's because it's kind of the last stop before you get to the island.
Yeah.
So I would love for everybody to stop in there and see our new Ace store, and we're gonna have a grand opening coming up soon. And actually that store has online shopping too, so you could shop for your groceries online and then just pick it up when you're, you know, headed down that way.
Yeah, of course.
So that's just definitely super easy. You can hit greers.com/shop for all of the locations that have online shopping now, and we can save you some time and some money.
Hey, always nice saving time and money. Lucy, thank you again for being here.
Thank you.
We look forward to having you next Wednesday, and we always enjoy when you're here. If you are interested in this recipe, of course you can get all the ingredients at Greers.com, at Greers or at Greers.com.
Yeah.
Or we'll have it on Fox 10 TV right under the Studio 10 tab. Joe?